Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Katrina Swathwood.
Hello.
And our guests this week are Anthony Smith.
Hello.
Emma Gastellum.
Hi.
Questionable. Debatable.
And Leo, which will be just like one word, like share.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Leo. So Leo. All right. So this is their first podcast, right?
Yes.
Have you ever been on another podcast?
No.
No? Nobody can see.
She's listened to many though.
Yes.
You have? Okay. So we keep it kind of loose. It'll be fine. You guys will be fine. So I had a story I wanted to tell real quick before we get into. You might notice that Corey's not here.
I don't know if you'd notice.
He was real sad. He was acting real sad when I left.
Really?
No.
He doesn't
Okay.
care.
Well, here I texted the guy, or Katrina texted the guy yesterday. Say, hey, we're doing a podcast. We're recording. We usually record between 8 and 8:30, and he didn't respond till like 7:30 the next day. And I'm like, dude, I already booked 3 other people. I can't wait for you to fucking. Damn it, Anthony, that beer.
Nice.
Scott's gonna pick that up.
That was a solid 8.5. Like,
It's
just
been
for tone and pitch.
lately. It's been rough.
It's been a
Old man
moment.
stomach. Yeah. So that happened with
Corey.
Thank you. The reason we brought you both on is because Anthony is 26,
We're children.
25, 25.
Pay taxes.
Yeah.
We're still children.
Yeah.
You never really grow up.
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't. It's this weird thing
There's a
where
big child running around.
yeah, where they think as you get older, you know what's going on. You
No.
still don't know what the fuck's going
I
on.
have no idea what's happening at all times.
Well,
But
you're fitting right in.
but it is a different generation. Anthony is 9 years younger than me, but you guys are basically 15 years.
Well, just think about when we met Emma.
She was
Tiny.
8 or 9.
Itty bitty.
Yeah.
That's weird.
We're 19 years old now.
Yes. I've
Yeah.
been here for a while.
Yeah.
Spooky.
So I mean, it gives a different perspective on things, and I wanted to talk to you guys about, and we'll get to this after my story. But Ben Affleck backed out of Batman. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the DC universe, but
Bums me out.
just a smidge.
That kind of bums me
Just
out.
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
They haven't dressed up as sirens at all or anything.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely
and
not.
we'll get to that too. But I actually like Ben Affleck. But no, okay. So
Story.
my thing was I played a lot of Halo online, and I played a lot of first-person shooters. But now the thing is Fortnite. And that's not your guys' thing, correct?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Not so,
So
much.
do you know who Marshmallow is?
No. Well, actually, I
Yes.
do now because last time I babysat Parker, that's all he talked about.
Well, isn't Marshmallow a DJ?
Yes.
Yes.
But Marshmallow just had the first ever in Fortnite concert where you could watch as your character.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this because it has to do with your generation. It does.
Generation below
Not
us.
not
It's
Fortnite.
There's
word
always,
triggered.
There's always one thing that, if you have a younger sibling, you see them doing and you kind of cringe when you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that phenomena.
Well, what were you doing?
What?
At the time?
No, what was your guys'
Minecraft.
thing? Minecraft?
Yeah. That's
Really?
what we made
Yeah.
other people cringe with, probably.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I still play Minecraft.
Parker plays Minecraft.
I love Minecraft.
Minecraft makes me cringe.
It had just
And-
come out at the time on the iPods
Yeah.
and iPhones, so
we all
could
had it on
connect.
our
Yeah.
So it became a mess.
Yeah.
I genuinely think Fortnite is bigger than Minecraft.
Oh, entirely.
It's not actually.
It's not?
No, there have been a ton of things on
see
the App
college
Store and everything.
kids.
Minecraft is still number one
Huh.
with players and everything.
I did not know that.
I wonder if it's just Fortnite brings in way more money.
It's the thing right now. It's a lot of kids yelling about it.
It's bigger in
I
the
play.
public eye.
It's a lot of kids yelling about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, the thing is that's not what I wanted to get into. Okay, so Marshmallow just had this concert on
Right.
Fortnite, and damn, I hate sharing a mic. I've never done it before.
I'm sorry.
Cozy.
It's all right.
Squish your
Let's get
faces together.
Let's get in here.
All right.
We're gonna squeeze in. So we really don't have to do this. So I don't know if you're familiar with Fortnite and the amount of times they put skins up.
They put skins up every day, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
Every day or every other day, I think, is when they put up skins.
That's too many.
And that's basically how they make their money. Well,
Yeah.
Marshmallow had this concert, and then immediately after concert, there's a Marshmallow skin. And it's basically just he's got a white round head that glows different colors, and he's dressed in like a white jumpsuit.
And you can only get it for this small fraction of time, and then you can never see it again.
Right.
And they're like $25.
No.
So you find somebody else's credit card because you're probably like 12.
You do
Yeah.
not
12
do
wacky
that.
numbers on the front.
So
The wacky numbers. There's at least 4.
we've never let Parker borrow money. He always has to earn his own money, but he really wanted it. So we said, okay, you're negative $25 in the hole, and you've got to earn the money back. So he got it. And he's playing this last Saturday with his friends online. So they're playing the game, and I go in there and I look at him, and he's not crying, but he's got, you could, when the eyes kind of well up and you can see that glassiness. And I was like, what's wrong? He's like, my friends kicked me out of the group. And I was like,
Those bitches.
It gets better.
I almost said that. So I said,
Kids are mean.
I know. I said, what's wrong? He said, my friend, I won't say their name, my friend Cody, we'll say, said he was triggered by my skin. And I wanted to make sure that we realize that this is a Fortnite skin, not somebody's actual skin.
These kids are how old?
They're 9.
Oh, God.
I think he's 8.
He might be 8. He was
Oh.
triggered by my skin and said I couldn't play with them anymore. And I go, Parker, I'm going to be honest with you. And I was like, that is bullshit. I was saying, I'm triggered by... I'm like, hearing an 8-year-old say they're triggered by something makes me want to throw up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it's just reflective of the language that's used in the house.
not only that. I mean, it's a lot of internet culture too. That word gets thrown around a lot, especially younger generations.
It's a very commonplace word.
I
For
honestly
stupid
thought you were going to
things.
say that he was about to cry because that doesn't seem like the greatest skin to be playing a first-person shooter with because you have this giant
Well,
white,
it's not a
colorful head. And
Fortnite's not a first-person shooter, is it?
well,
Yeah.
it's third-person shooter,
Oh.
but it's still a shooter game where
Yeah.
there's another person running around with this giant head that I would probably destroy anybody.
It's an easy target, is
Yeah,
what he's
easy
trying to say.
target.
Yeah.
There's going to be a time coming up where Parker's going to be better at that game than you.
He probably is better than me at that
I was
game
about to
already.
say.
I don't play that game.
Ethan played it for like a month and a half, and then he's like, "Everyone on here's too cringy." And
We turned the volume off. We play. I let him play with his friends, but the only other person he can hear is me if I play with him,
Or if he's friends with
or
somebody.
if he's friends with somebody. He can't hear that toxic outside
Jargon.
jargon.
yes,
But he can hear other 8-year-olds being triggered.
yes,
His friend,
Yes.
his triggered friend. Oh my god.
Those are friends you don't want to be friends
no,
with.
that's what I
No.
said. I said, and Parker's friends with everybody, so I'm like, dude, just don't hang out with them.
yeah.
I'm like, that just,
Learn young.
I'm trying to teach him things. Obviously as a parent, you try to teach them things that you've learned. Like, you get made fun of when you're younger and it hurts, but if as an adult you learn, if you just fucking don't listen to anybody and you don't care,
You're fine.
Nobody will make fun of you.
I'm too busy to pay attention to what other people think of me. Last semester, I went to class so many times in pajamas. Oh, and I was just like, I'm just here for criminal justice. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm leaving after this.
No, you're paying for college. You are paying to be there. It doesn't matter what you wear. I think one of the best advice I got from any professor in college was like, if you ever have a class and there's participation points, you drop that class. Because you are paying for a service. You're going there for them to teach you something. You're not there to participate.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. I saw your Rick and Morty socks.
Oh. Yeah, I wear those to work. And someone said, what is that on your feet?
Oh no.
Did you tell him?
Yeah. I wear my Game of Thrones banners too.
Nice. That's coming back soon.
It is.
But no, that's my story of the week. I was irritated and I made fun of his friends.
That's valid.
Good dad.
I'd also make fun of 8-year-olds.
Dude, we could probably make his friends cry. Like, so bad. If
Easily.
We wanted to.
Well, I mean, I know that I can make an 8-year-old cry. It's
Not that
I
hard.
don't want to.
Well, I'm the uncle. I can do that. I can't get in trouble.
Absolutely, you can do. No, you can do that. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna allow it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and then I actually want to talk about what you guys are going to do in a couple weeks.
Flying out to go to Katsucon.
Isn't it DC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like
Well, what is that?
It's a convention mostly for anime and like other nerdy things that they have in Maryland every year. So it's like a big convention with lots of exhibits and usually like sneak previews of things and cosplays.
And you're
No.
both going?
Yes.
What are you guys dressing up as?
I
the
know
things.
at least for sure one thing is Raven and Starfire.
Nice.
I'm in the middle of a really big build. I cosplay a lot. That's like my thing. You can find me on Instagram at unity.cos.
Nice.
unity.cos. I'm working on a big armor build right now for a JRPG Bakugo, which is a character out of an anime called Boku no Hero Academia. But it's like a massive armor build that I'm making deconstruct and fit into a suitcase. So it's a lot of stuff.
How heavy is it?
It's actually pretty light. It's made mostly out of foam. The only heaviest thing is the staff, and then resin is a little bit heavy, but not too bad.
How are you going to get a staff on a plane?
It's actually like PVC, but it
Collapses.
you can click it apart.
Nice.
So there's like 3 different pieces, and you can fit it all in a carry-on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you? I have to talk about it every single week. Have you seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
I have not yet, actually, but I know everything that happens in it.
Okay. You could probably pull off not that you would, but you could probably pull off a Spider-Gwen pretty easily.
I was told that the minute previews came out.
Yeah.
It's a haircut.
Yeah.
That generic one haircut. So everybody's like, yes. I'm like, my friend's actually going to cosplay her. She's a super cool character. I might do Silk at some point in time.
Okay.
But that's because I'm Korean American, so I'm like, representation somewhere. Yes. I'm ready. But
Parker's going to dress up as Norman from Paranorman this year at... have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. For Comic-Con this year.
It's adorable.
That's awesome.
We already talked to the barber because he got his haircut last week about when we're going to need to start growing his hair out and what we need to use to get his hair straight up.
Gorilla glue.
Yeah.
Got to be spray.
Gotta be glued spray.
He had some pretty good stuff in the shop, and I've been going to my barber for 11
Ever.
years. So he's just gonna keep the sides short, and he's gonna end up having like
The
8 inches
longest
of
hair.
hair.
He's going
on
to actually
top.
style it.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
If you need
Baseball's going
help,
to be rough.
My brother used to fan out just the back of his hair when he was in his emo phase because we have really thick hair. So he'd like hairspray it up and then blow dry it so he'd look like a peacock when he went to school.
I love
Holy
your brother.
crap!
The scene phase where you had the swoop in the front and the spiky hair in the back.
He was almost scouted to be a Hot Topic model.
Okay, Anthony, can you bring up those pictures of you?
No.
You have to.
Everybody has them
Hey, we
somewhere.
all
You have
have
to.
emo phases.
I
Somewhere.
had just my bangs. I had the devil lock for like.
We found baby pictures of me, and I have my dad, when I was a baby, shaved the sides of my head and gave me a mohawk, and there's a picture of me with the devil lock.
Nice. I grew it from junior year till when I was like 20.
Yeah, you had it when I met you.
So I had it for like 4 years.
That's
the
impressive.
life.
Yeah,
That's
it was
dedication.
like 4 or 5 inches below my chin.
Yes.
Yeah, and then one day I just took scissors and cut it off myself.
I like dreamed of that as a kid, but I
Yeah.
had too much
Same.
hair, so it wouldn't stay there. Just kind of
My hair does what it
Everywhere.
wants. Yeah.
Anthony,
Yeah.
you got to bring up the pictures.
it's important.
Shame.
some
We'll,
evidence.
we'll post these pictures to Twitter.
I mean,
I
to be
had-
fair, my brother won best hair in middle school because of it.
In middle school?
He was in 8th grade. He
Anthony
was
has
already like
pretty good
6
hair.
foot tall, but
It sounds
Be
like
like
you.
My
I had beautiful hair.
I had.
It was-
I had.
had.
I
Emphasis on had. What happened?
when my hair gets long, it's pretty awesome because I have super curly hair, and
It's a good
now
look.
it'd be mostly gray. But don't show
Is that
me.
the one? Is that the one you're looking for? My hair was super long.
My brother's hair was at about like 4 inches onto that and then fan out the back.
Yeah.
It was like black and
Yes.
blue. But that's a good look.
I miss
It's a
it.
good scene look.
grow it out again.
Yeah,
I'm growing my hair out again so I can do what I did in middle school, which was cut it like Coraline.
It's never too late.
No, it's not.
Never too late.
but then I used to just dye it all kinds of weird colors. Too.
Same.
Now you're getting closer to my brother.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. In my favorite
Resemblance,
my
uncanny.
favorite hair dye memory is
Oh.
8th grade graduation, and you somehow managed to dye your hair blue with purple polka dots, and to this day I do not know how you did it, and I don't know if you know how you did
I
it.
have no idea. It just happened.
It magically happened.
It
I
did.
don't
It
have
was-
any pictures of it.
Taylor
because-
has one.
Thank goodness,
picture.
because I had a slide phone that didn't have any internet or picture capability.
I'm sure my completely broken iPod has pictures.
Oh, mine's gone.
I started looking at pictures from MySpace recently.
Oh,
Mom found her old MySpace.
I'm locked out of
It
my
was
MySpace.
hilarious.
I'd love to bring that back.
Yeah.
I made a MySpace for the
I
joke
don't
of it.
even want to see what's on my MySpace. There's probably such horrible.
I've
pictures
looked
on
at
there.
yours.
I avidly
He's like,
follow
you
it.
should be ashamed.
We should all be ashamed.
Anybody who has a MySpace should be ashamed, but that's
Hey.
okay. Hey, you just made yours. You you count too.
Yeah.
You just made it?
I made it like last year with my friend Megan as a joke, and we purposely tried to make it like the most like 2006 like emo thing in the world. So if you ever go on my MySpace page, I'm pretty sure the first thing that plays is "Welcome to the Black Parade."
My hair was about 8 inches longer than that when I cut it,
That's quality.
so my hair gets pretty
Pretty
You
curly.
rock the,
Please grow
like,
it back out.
Full fro.
It would be all gray now. Like I have so much gray hair.
Please grow it back out.
That's even better.
I can't.
He's like, I actually have to go to work.
No, it's just now I got this one spot where I'm starting to lose it. And when it's short, it's not so bad. But when it gets longer for some reason, it's way more noticeable.
To you.
One extension.
You're the one who's actually looking in the mirror like,
clip-in extension.
Yes.
Just right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found the best one. This is the best one.
Oh man, Anthony.
Ready.
That's the best one.
Oh, that one's good. That should be your MySpace
I
profile.
miss those
Yes.
I'm gonna post all these pictures to
Please.
Twitter.
Make a fun collage.
pants. Yeah.
Like flowers and sparkles.
Weekly
Everybody
emo
knew me for
picture.
those
see, I
pants.
don't have any fun hair stories.
It's
Been
never
the
too
same
late.
It's never too
forever.
late.
Oh.
Let's shave your
Makes
head.
memories.
You want to
shave
shave
it
my head?
on the
Yeah.
with you.
Podcast.
Oh, God.
I'll do it. I'll shave my
You'll see
sides
how
again.
bumpy my head is, and you'll see why Parker's head is bumpy.
Your friends used to say you
That's
look like
scary.
Natalie Portman. You could do the V for Vendetta look.
Who,
Shave the
no one
head.
ever said
Yeah,
that.
they did. Yes, they did. When I met you, doesn't she look just like Natalie Portman? Not.
No,
It
not
sounds
really.
like you said it at least once.
I've said it just now
You
for the
might
first
be
time.
that friend, though. I'm
No,
not.
her
I've
name.
gotten Jennifer Connelly.
Her name was Maggie, and she said it all the time.
God.
See,
Oh.
see.
Sounds like somebody who can be left in the past.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
So to jump into the nerd realm,
Radical.
yes, tubular.
Tubular.
I beat you to it. So Batflick, Ben Affleck, was recently finally booted out after a long time of
Farewell.
yeah. I actually liked him. I like the older Batman. But there are a lot of people kind of throwing names out there about who they'd like to play Batman because they're not going to stop making Batman movies. They make
No.
too much money.
Yeah.
And I was curious as to what you guys thought of who should be the next Batman. And after you guys throw out some names there and why.
Me.
You?
No.
If not her, then me right now.
Okay.
I can't act.
Like, are we
but,
talking
like,
an older Batman? Or are we
It
talking
is an
a-
older Batman,
Batman.
but
gosh.
but if you want to say somebody younger, I will accept it. But I need to know your reasonings why. And
What if I'm not good with like actors?
Or people?
because I mean,
In general?
the
In
big
general.
one is John Hamm. A lot of people say John Hamm should do it. He has
yeah.
the
I
jawline.
wouldn't be mad at it.
He has the jawline for it, and he's got that older, like salt and pepper gray look. But a lot of people,
But I feel like he's not like.
well,
Is
I
he
mean,
too fun?
Great.
Yeah.
John Hamm would be great.
well, there's a lot of, I mean,
He was good in Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great movie.
It was. But, I mean, if you're getting paid to put on muscle, you're going to put on muscle. But there's a lot of people that are clamoring for, and it's the time we're in, and I actually really like this actor a lot, but
Liev Schreiber.
Liv Schreiber.
There you go.
Daniel Kaluuya.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, from
He's
Get Out
He's the guy, the main character from Get Out.
and Black Panther.
And there's never been a black Batman.
That'd be
cool.
interesting.
And
Yeah.
that guy would easily be able to play Bruce Wayne because he's got that kind of, that, rich guy swagger if he wants to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
could see it.
would really like to see him.
That would be interesting.
With the
Actually, I
cowl
fully
on.
support that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
I think that'd be lit.
And then there's the exact amount of people that are like, Batman's not black.
Oh,
God.
yes, I can hear it now
And
in the
it's like,
distance.
In the distance. They're always there somewhere.
If you listen
They
quietly,
echo.
closely.
It's not true to the source material.
They're like cicadas.
Things change.
Neither was the Suicide Squad movie, and everyone loved that, and I will never stop being mad about it.
Not everybody.
Not
loved
everybody
it.
loved that movie.
No.
I mean, I gave it a B on here, right, Alan?
Yes.
Alan.
You did give it a B.
I talked myself into it after seeing it.
I didn't.
Different topics, but
I think it deserves its own place where it is. It's not like the best movie in the world, and it's not the worst movie in the world.
I would have been happy if they followed the comics.
My two biggest people for Batman are, James Bond, are Idris Elba, who would be fucking excellent, and Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki.
Yes.
He would be an
That would be
excellent
amazing.
James Bond.
Yes.
Both of those guys, I am way on board. And you might say that Tom Hiddleston doesn't have the muscle for it, but he's suave.
Yeah.
He'd be great.
He's a good action star,
Yes.
and I really like him a lot. And
But he's
going
going
to
to have his own TV show.
TV shows don't last forever. Daniel Craig's still doing James Bond right now. We're talking about the next James Bond. The next James
So are
Bond.
they just going to offer him more money again to
Well, they're
keep
giving
playing
him, I think,
James
like
Bond?
$40 or $50 million.
I
movie.
know.
Yeah.
Wait, we jumped the subject. Batman.
Sorry,
What
Batman.
what about Bradley Cooper?
Eh,
Oh, I love
That was a
Bradley
collective. I don't think that's ever been done.
No.
I think he's moving more into the directorial realm of things right now. Like that's kind of his focus. He wants to kind of control and move things on his own accord. I don't think he'd be very interested in taking on a character that he can't establish himself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
One of the people at Google said was Josh Brolin. I think would be interesting.
I'd be way okay with a Josh Brolin. He played Cable great, and I mean, but how many people are you gonna have? He's already playing 2 people in Marvel universe. You're gonna have him play Batman too.
Yes.
you can make it work.
Fair enough. I mean, I
We
don't-
watched Goonies the other night.
You know, I
Any
was thinking
crossover.
he would have been a great Nolan Grayson.
Oh yeah,
That would be
Omni
really
Man.
good.
Yeah, like if they were going to do like
Have
a
you
live
guys read
action.
Invincible?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Yes.
Have you?
No.
Ooh, another person that's read Invincible.
It's been a minute,
We've
but-
got stuff to talk about now.
It's been a minute.
Like, did you
thought-
finish it?
Do you know the
I'm honestly
characters?
not entirely sure if I
Do
finished
you know
it.
who
I
the
don't.
characters are?
Yes.
They're making
Like,
an animated
most of
show,
it's
and they
been
just
a
announced the
while.
voice cast, and it's like fucking massive, and I'm super excited. Super excited. Stephen Yeun is playing Invincible.
That's cool.
gonna
J.K.
be cool.
Simmons is in it. Mark Hamill's in it.
Oh.
It's got a
Everybody's in
lot of
that
people
fucking
in it.
thing.
I had no idea. That's
I'm
awesome.
super excited. And it's supposed to be super, super, super bloody.
Nice.
As it
Good
should
stuff.
be. It was
That's the
going to be
only way it can be.
Conquest.
Oh.
And Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are writing the movie script for that actual feature film for that.
That's
Oh, nice.
awesome.
But yeah, I was on my run the other day, and I was like, you know, Josh Brolin would be a great Nolan Grayson.
Have you seen the picture of Josh Brolin dressing up for a Halloween party as his character from the Goonies?
Yes.
That is good.
My only critique on that is that he wasn't in the like.
He's allowed to do
Short
what he wants.
shorts.
It's his character.
He wasn't in the short shorts.
No. That movie is unacceptable to the youth of this today's age.
Goonies.
Yes.
I love Goonies.
You're not the youth of this age anymore. I'm
That's
talking
great.
about my kids.
If you sit
Why?
down and watch it with a child, you're like, oh my God.
Because there's some language in it, and we let Parker watch it, and we'd let him watch it again. I don't have a problem with that anymore. I let him watch Talladega Nights recently, which
haven't
I
seen
forgot
that
how
movie in
it's
so
so
long.
such foul
Yeah,
language.
Yeah, the
It's a
exact
moment.
phrase was like, you're going to watch that with him? And Robert's like, yeah. And I was like, well, then you're going to be doing some explaining.
But it's more like the when one of the kids breaks the statue of David and the penis falls off, and he's like, "That's my mom's favorite part."
Oh, yeah.
Like little things like that you don't catch when you're a kid, but as an adult, you're like, "Oh, all right."
That's
I feel like
awkward.
you have to watch those as like a child so that you can get those moments when you're older.
Yeah.
You look back and you're like,
Plus, I don't remember things like that when I was like younger from the Goonies movie. I remember them like going through everything and finding the pirate ship and seeing the ship at the end come out and being like, "I'm gonna go find a pirate ship."
Or like Data and all those cool gadgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. For the longest time, I thought that was Stephen Yeun.
Did
Yeah,
you
there
really?
there was a rumor about that. There was a before your guys' time.
Oh.
You're making yourself sound so old right now.
We
I'm
are
not that old, but when Music Trader was around, do you remember Music Trader?
I remember Auto Trader.
So when
Auto
Music-
Trader still exists.
when Music Trader was around, there was 2 bands in San Diego. One was Troy's Bucket, and one was Slick Shoes, and they both played a lot in San Diego. And those are both Goonies things.
Cool.
So, all right. Thanks.
I didn't grow up here.
Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah. Huh.
that's unfortunate for you because Sacramento sucks.
It does.
fair.
You're all from here, right?
No.
Where are you from?
Grew up in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you move here?
2007. I've been here a long time.
That's not that long.
It's a while. It's over 10 years.
Yeah.
I moved
Barely.
here in
It's
2002.
2013. Not that much before me.
I've lived in the same house my whole life.
That's scary.
That is scary.
Yeah, it is.
I moved back to the town that I grew up in. I mean, it's
I
not
mean-
the same house, but
This San Diego's a fair place though. That's like,
yeah, I've been to a lot of other places, and I don't want to live anywhere else.
yeah.
I live in Scotland.
Have you ever been to Scotland?
I have.
She has.
Oh, okay.
I know
Yeah,
it's very
back
special.
Shut
by-
down.
I went to Scotland and Ireland over my senior year,
Yes.
junior year, senior
Yeah,
year,
senior year.
summer of senior year. Me and Mom went to Ireland and Scotland. It was amazing.
They got to go in castles and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair.
Do they like us there, or were they like giving you shit the whole time?
Well, my mom's last name is Ewing, so it's an Scott-Irish last name.
The thing about Europe is you say you're from California. You don't say you're from the United States. You say you're from California.
When they asked where we were
Different
from, I
world.
said San Diego, and they were like, San Diego? And I was like,
Everybody loves San
Yeah.
Diego.
Katrina's
hear
friend
better.
from high school lived in Brighton, England for
Ever.
quite a few years, and she said, "Yeah, you tell people you're from California. Do not say you're from
United
the United
States.
States. You say I'm from California. We're the most progressive state in
Yeah.
the entire country, and I think they're a lot more accepting
like,
of
"Oh,
us
okay."
than most places."
Good to know. So if I ever go anywhere, that I don't say I'm from the United States. Good to know.
specify. And I think it's that, and like California is such a tourist spot with like Disneyland and Hollywood and like just San Diego in general. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
that place.
People do like to go to Florida, and that's scary.
Florida's
whack.
gross, right?
California
so
just
sad.
has a better rep than Florida.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure.
Well, Florida's like the worst state. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. If you ever hear of a fucking crazy story about somebody's face getting eaten,
Florida, man.
or it's Florida. Casey Anthony, Trayvon
Ugh.
Martin.
Casey Anthony makes me mad.
Yeah, but I think we'd be able to get away with it too, because Swathwood is a very, very English last
White name.
and like there's only like a few hundred of us in the United States, but in England there's like tens of thousands of our last name there. So
So I wouldn't have to spell my last name if we go to England.
no, and they wouldn't say Swathwood. Swathwood.
Mom didn't have to spell her last name in Ireland and Scotland, and she's so
Ewing?
used to Ewing. Yeah, she was so used.
Dang it!
to,
I said it right.
She was so.
How do you
used-
say your name?
Every time she's ever been on here, I say it wrong.
Next time.
Well, I
She has
mean,
to
you
be
can
here.
start saying Noel instead of Noel.
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 What? Who says Noel?
Everyone.
Fuck that guy and that name.
Never met.
Corey sucks. He listens.
Love you. But yeah, when we went to Scotland and Ireland, because she's so used to spelling it here, like I'm used to spelling it, like spelling my last name because
Isn't
it's
it
long.
Ewing?
Yeah.
So it's Ewing.
No,
I mean, I know that's not how you pronounce it, but if
technically,
you were
yes.
saying like, hey, it's like Ewing. I mean,
Yeah.
I know there's no Ewings in Star Wars, but I'm just saying. Like,
Yes.
E-wing.
But yeah, when we went over there, she was like, yeah, Lacey Ewing, and they just spelt it, and she was like, they spelt it right.
it's also because of a lot of other countries put much more emphasis on education. and
fair.
and not only that, but culturally, I mean, other countries also do multiple languages.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
As a standard.
Yeah.
you would think that the pronunciation of other places is much easier for other countries as opposed to as progressive as California is. We're one of the like worst states on money we spend per student,
Oh yeah.
which is sad.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting now.
Get your soapbox out, Robert.
So I mean, like the LA school district is one of the biggest, the top two biggest school districts in the entire United States, and they went on strike and they were losing $15 million a day by not having kids go to
class.
school. And it was like 684,000 students weren't going to school per day.
Jesus.
So it was like some sort of massive walkout.
Yeah, how's that productive?
How is it productive?
it gets
Because
teachers more money.
It gets
Yeah.
teachers more money. The schools are losing those money, not the teachers. So if you say, okay, so you work at a company and every single employee stays home, so there's not a single sale made that day, they're going to be like, okay, obviously for a retail thing, we can just hire other people. But as a union, they can't just fire you. So they have to bring you back. So since they have to bring you back, you're in a situation where like, okay, we're going to lose $15 million a day, or we're going to negotiate to these people they weren't even asking for more money. They were asking for smaller classroom sizes.
Oh yeah. This classroom sizes are ridiculous.
Parker's classes is 22 to 25. It's not terrible.
And that's still a lot, though.
And it's still a
Yeah,
lot. But
it is.
every class also has a teacher and a teacher's assistant.
Does
Well,
Parker's
that's-
teacher have an assistant?
Yes, there's one that bounces
Okay.
between the two classrooms. But I mean,
that's not bad though.
no, it's not bad. But when you're talking 27, 29, 30, 32, 35.
Well, we
With
had 30
one
kids in my
teacher.
class when I was growing up in grade school.
Once you're older, it's not as bad because
Grade school.
That's about where mine was in grade
yeah.
school too. Although we didn't have teachers assistants in
Nope.
North
No,
Carolina
yeah.
at all.
That's
Then
so-
again, when
I went to
moved
Catholic
here-
school, so
Oh yeah, I went to public my whole life, but
Yeah.
moving here, I was ahead of the education like system here when I came here. Either way, so
you got to figure they're just raking in cash for every kid in a seat when I was
Yeah.
going to school.
yeah. So I mean, and that's how it's productive. I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just saying that's
That was a genuine question.
yeah. That's how it's productive because and not to mention parents start to get pissed that they can't
Have
go
to-
to work
yeah.
because
Yeah.
their kids are not in school.
It sucks that they're cutting and when they do make cuts, it sucks that it's like arts and music and stuff like that. That's what they're cutting
The
first.
creative stuff.
Yeah, because that it's just
easier to cut.
It's
unfortunately.
easier to cut, but it's so like bad for the mind to like cut things like that make you engage in like creativity and like.
Well, you're seeing that when as these generations are getting older, we're becoming more isolated. You know, there's no creativity there. There's no out of the box thinking. People can't solve problems. Yeah. It's gonna continue to decline in society. Just bringing these children up for a working class, it's not helping.
That's why when Parker says he wants to start a YouTube channel, I'm like, I'm fine with that, but you're not going to go do every single fucking thing that every other person does. That's an unboxing video or a challenge video. No. You're going to come up with your own shit and you're going to do your own stuff. That's it. I mean, I don't care. I'm going to promote creativity, but I'm not going to let you do it that way.
Copycat.
Not okay.
You're not going to let them do like the cinnamon challenge?
No, I did that.
What a throwback.
Oh,
I did that with my friend in middle school.
Yeah. Deandra?
I was fine until she started laughing. She made me laugh. That was a bad decision.
Eric, who's been on here before, we bet when we were living together they couldn't eat a cup of flour.
Nice.
I've done that before.
It's you start to
difficult.
cough and you start coughing, like inhaling. It's not good for you.
It lines your throat and it sticks there.
Yeah.
You can do it. I speak from experience. You just can't breathe is the thing.
So yeah, that's a problem.
That's a problem for some people. Unfortunately.
You fucking have gills?
Almost. I was on a swim team for a long time.
Oh yeah.
My swim coach name was Gil, so if that says anything, that's about it.
That's gonna be the name of the episode.
Gil.
My swim coach name is Gil.
I wish I was lying.
My friend Adam married his high school sweetheart, and we all went to high school together. And she did swim, and we found out later that she had webbed feet.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I feel like that's cheating.
I think he listens too.
I feel like she should like become a captain or something, just automatically.
Shout out Tasha Jacobson with the webbed feet.
Yeah, even if you can't swim, like if you have webbed feet, that's just next level.
Yeah, I like the mythology behind like webbed feet in like Scotland and Ireland. I rounded back.
Nice.
Yeah.
We do that sometimes. Other times we just go off on tangents.
Scary. I was about to say we were getting really deep for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes these episodes are light and fun and go here and go there. I mean, none of you guys picked who you wanted for Batman other than me.
I said Josh Brolin.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Remember we talked about Goonies and then we progressed into however we got here.
Parker was on an episode of this. Well, kind of. And he's like, why are you guys going to talk about so much other stuff? What it was is our friend Alan has read all the Harry Potter books, but he's never seen the movies. So he watched 2 of the movies, and then we did a 25-minute recap on it, what he thought about it, and Parker was on that episode. And Anthony said he said Bradley Cooper. You didn't say anything.
I'm horrible with names, so
Describe.
all the actors just kind of blend together for me.
I'm sure one of us will know if you're like, oh, that guy from that one movie where they did that thing.
Are you Phoebe right now? You know the thing with the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the one with the nose and like the eyes and that one. But
That guy sucks.
when it comes to actors, I'm always like, I'll give opinions, but as soon as you ask me to suggest someone, I'm like,
my mind goes blank
animated.
too. Yeah, I can't do that.
Just make them cartoons, then they can't disappoint me.
Valid.
I'd like to see a Batman Beyond movie. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be really nice.
Now with the Batman Beyond movie,
He's like,
since we're going there, would you have Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne? I mean, have you guys watched Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
You know the premise?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd have to have Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, right?
I think that'd be pretty cool. I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Then who do you have play Terry McGinnis? That's his name, right? Anybody?
So?
I think so.
Alan. We're just gonna start calling out Alan, even though he's not here.
He's just gonna pop up. He's just gonna walk in. What?
I heard my name.
You guys haven't listened to the show, right? I don't take offense to that.
Not
We've
yet.
had people on that haven't
I
listened to
kept
the
asked
show.
the name
I
today.
kept meaning to like listen to it. Like it's on my like podcast list, but I just get wrapped
You guys
up in
have
the
iPhones?
14 other
Her true crime
podcasts
podcast.
that I listen to.
Do you have iPhones?
No, but I have a podcast app.
Just subscribe to it so it downloads, so my numbers will go ahead.
Okay.
Gotcha,
He's like, I don't
gotcha.
care about anything else.
With I mean, on a side note, on a personal note, I would like to say thank you to all the new listeners. We are getting significantly more downloads, and it is kind of astonishing
He's
that we're hitting
pleasantly
like
surprised.
the thousands.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
so per month, not per episode, but
Still good.
Exactly. So I mean,
It's growing.
the fact that we're getting that, and we have a new. You know what? I'm going to talk about it at the very end. We got a new episode that's going to start coming out. See, bi-monthly is also every other month, but it's also twice a month, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why the fuck is that?
Because bi means 2. And then you leave
every
it up
2
to
months, every.
You leave it up to the mind to decide.
Yeah.
All right.
Make it a fun surprise.
You
Switch
could
it
say
up each time.
bi-weekly.
Yeah, you could say bi-weekly. But that would mean
That could mean every other week
So-
or twice a
a
week.
week. Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
God.
We're not doing bi-weekly.
You're not going to go Joe Rogan on you?
No. Oh God, Joe Rogan puts out like 6 to 8 episodes a week.
I love it. I don't care.
Did you listen to the one with Killer Mike?
Not yet. No.
Oh, he has a Netflix show.
Yeah, it looks in Triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Triggered.
Nice.
Now we're going back in a circle.
And we've looped.
You made it.
I don't. Who's he in? What? Run the Jewels?
Run the Jewels. Yeah.
Are they good?
Dude, Run the Jewels is fucking tight, yo.
Okay. Yo,
Yeah.
Wasn't he
I'll have to give him a
in,
listen.
what's that kid's show?
No, that's a different person.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. No.
Okay.
But no, I kind of want to. It was a really good episode. They got high as fuck too.
I'm
Well, he
jealous.
likes to
I would
do
love-
that.
I would love to get high with Joe Rogan
Or Killer Mike.
or Killer Mike.
He had this.
Can Kevin Smith be Batman?
Yes.
He could
Yes.
be Fat Man.
He's
Well, he
not
does-
fat anymore.
I know, but he does Fat Man on Batman, where
No, I know.
they have a podcast where they just talk about Batman. No, he's not fat anymore. He's gonna. I'm telling you right now.
Is he living to 125?
No, he's gonna be on this podcast one day. It's gonna.
You're gonna
fucking
make it
happen.
It's
happen?
gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
So
You're just going to
determined.
show up with your mics at Comic-Con and be like, dude, you got to sit down at
Yeah.
your table.
No, it's
everyone
gonna
just
happen.
start adding them.
Yeah.
I do it. Do it. Everybody out there.
All right, now we know.
We got
yeah.
it.
I've hit him up a couple times on there, and
Well, he is the inspiration for your podcast.
Yeah.
Slide into the DMs, like
so yeah.
baseball
do
player
it.
level, like ready.
I wish you can't do that on Twitter. I've already done it on Instagram.
You gotta
You
more on
can DM people
Instagram.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can.
You can only DM people if they follow you or they open their DMs to the public.
You can spam their Twitter though.
You
Yeah,
can.
but see, I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm talking like once a month. I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, let's do this
Hey.
podcast.
That's like delayed spam. That works.
Yeah. See, I don't like to bother people overly. It's just, I think he would actually do it. I'm like, next time you're in San Diego, which he comes to San Diego, I can take the podcast to you, or I can pick you up anywhere you want me to, and make this happen.
I will not put you in the trunk of my car.
I'll take the day off. And you know
There's
what?
a 50-50 chance.
By
but
monthly
hopefully
spam.
not.
We've had Robert Kirkman on the podcast. He can vouch that we're not crazy people.
Well, I don't know if he'd say that.
I know.
Completely crazy.
I
I know-
babysat enough. I can say you're not crazy.
Yeah, see, but that doesn't count.
You won't end up in a basement.
He wants an
That's all that
outside
matters.
opinion of the craziness.
Robert Kirkman's actually been on Kevin Smith's podcast, so I mean, there's a connection there. That he
You have
can-
an inside deal already. Just
Are you doing like degrees of Kevin Bacon
I
right
can't.
now?
I've always wanted to be like, hey, man,
you got it. You got it.
can you
Just
hook this up?
be
No, I
in a
can't do
different
that.
conversation before you drop that. I mean, now it's going to be on a podcast anyway, so hopefully this is just added enough.
Yeah,
and
right.
sent to.
So anybody that listens, Alan, Corey. I don't know the
Anyone?
names of all the people because we're actually at a point where I don't know everybody that listens anymore.
That's
Scary.
good.
But go ahead, at Kevin Smith and say, hey, these guys want to have you on the podcast, and who knows, maybe he'll come on.
Yeah.
I was going somewhere deep for a second, and I
Batman
fucking don't
Beyond.
remember.
I'm sorry.
Batman.
You
Batman
asked me who
Beyond.
I wanted to be Batman.
I'd like to see a Nightwing movie.
Yes. I would like justice for Riddler.
Yeah.
I will always run back to Riddler when we talk about DC.
I'd like justice for Uma Thurman's eyebrows.
I don't think that's possible.
I'd
Did you like the
just
dude that
edit those
played-
out.
Did you like the dude that played Riddler on Gotham?
I did.
He played it. I stopped
played it
watching
well.
the show, but he did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean to rewatch it. He did well. I like that kind of more for Riddler, just because of like his whole character and everything is more of like that type of like, not body type, but like just like personality wise, like how they portrayed him on Gotham was really really well done. And then there's I can't remember his name or which show it is. It's one of the crime shows me and Mom watch, but there's a character on there who's very Riddler-esque that I wouldn't mind playing Riddler either.
There's a Riddler comic in my spare room that you bought at Comic-Con like 3 years ago. I gotta find it.
It's
It's
somewhere.
buried in there with comics. I have like 40 or 50,000 comics in here, so I don't.
That's valid.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Katrina,
Yeah.
you said you had questions for the young people.
Yeah, well, I wasn't talking about their cosplay event they had coming up, but I also wanted to know how did you get even into that world? Because my definition of cosplay is different from anybody else's definition. Because I dress up as stuff, I don't cosplay. Cosplay is doing like a different character and emulating, and
What do you
that's
dress
how
up as?
I've dressed up as Handy, as Captain Russell, as what is it, Misty from Pokemon?
Yeah,
So I've done my fair share, sir.
I've done Brock, and I've done Mario.
You did a very lazy Luke.
Yeah, but I was self-conscious then. Now I'd probably do it better.
That's fair.
So I have dressed up as stuff at Comic-Con. I have not cosplayed.
So what is your definition of cosplay, if I may ask?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
When I think of cosplaying, I think of it as like creating a unique costume and acting as a character, not just putting on a costume and being like, oh, I'm dressed up as so-and-so, because that's what I would do.
Kind of like embodying the character.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So how did you even get into that world?
We got... People ask me, like, when I started cosplaying, because now I have a bigger following on my page. I just passed, like, 1,100 on my page. So when people ask me that, I ask them if they mean...
1,113.
Ooh.
Fancy. I ask them if they mean
I
when
have
I
more Twitter
started or when I, like, seriously started. And the seriously started is maybe 2 or 3 years ago once I, like, really learned how to sew and craft. And that's more when I started to post things. How we first started was a mistake, but a happy mistake.
Oh.
Story.
So
There's a
a couple
webcomic.
years ago,
2012?
when we were in 8th grade.
2012,
12-ish?
2013.
Yeah.
There's like a really long web comic series that too many people know called Homestuck. Ominous noises.
It's a heater. It's
Homestuck.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Homestuck.
Homestuck.
Homestuck was big,
It was big at the time, and it's a really good web series, but
which makes me so sad because it is, and it's really well written, and it's
Yeah.
really well done, and it's really complex characters and everything. But the fandom
the fandom's scary.
was so
But at the time, we didn't know what we were doing, and the problem is that a lot of the characters have gray skin, so
and horns.
that details to body paint. But if you're just starting out in cosplay, you should
kinda
never body paint.
Grab
at
whatever
least-
you have handy.
Yeah. So that's how we first started. It was just like we
Goofing
saw
off.
somebody else do it, and we were like, we could
can
do
do
that.
that.
We could not do that.
No, we
not
could
at the
not do
time.
it at all.
So
Not with metallic silver body paint.
just regrets.
I'm assuming it got
Regrets.
everywhere.
No,
it just
looked
hurt
bad.
Yeah. Looking back now, I didn't know eyebrows were a thing that people did or had on their faces.
They had?
Here's a secret, or not a very good secret. My eyebrows are like nothing. This is all fake. Obviously this is red.
What?
But my mom has her eyebrows tattooed on
gonna
because she
expose
was
her like that?
just she's very like she will let you know if you
Light-haired.
don't realize she didn't have any.
Okay.
Just growing up, being Korean, she had none, and she didn't have very long eyelashes. I have some eyebrow, but it's like blonde and you can't see it. So putting silver body paint over that is just a bad idea because you look like an egg. So yeah, that's how we started.
Well, you can't
quote
be as
unquote.
bad. When I was in grade school, there was a girl who pulled out all her eyebrows and all her eyelashes. And she looked like an alien for like a
see,
year.
I didn't have to pull anything out. I'm already halfway there. So
It's a fat makeup way.
yeah, I didn't realize my mom didn't have like normal quote unquote eyebrows until I was like 12.
I remember when you told me that your mom tattooed her eyebrows on. I was like, dumb shook.
Old ink like turned slightly purple, and I looked at her and I was like, "Are your eyebrows purple?" And she was like, "They're tattoos." Life-changing revelation.
Remember when I used
Does
to
your mom
color
have any
my
other
eyebrows?
tattoos?
No, just
I was
that.
just curious.
Yeah, fair question.
Remember when I used to color my eyebrows?
Yes, I still color my eyebrows.
I know, but like
Joke's on you.
when I had a mohawk and I was like in my like punk phase, I would like color my eyebrows like green and like purple and stuff and be like,
Basically, we started cosplay very young, but we started
evolved.
cosplay recently in the past 2 or
Recently.
3 years.
yeah.
What? Why are you looking like that?
You asked the question.
I did ask a question. She answered.
I've thought about it. Like, I would like to, but I'm just way too lazy to like make stuff.
Also
I'm
fair.
poor,
You can
so-
buy things.
Yeah, but it's
Contrary
also
to popular
expensive.
belief. Yes,
Like,
it
I
does.
always
That's my problem.
I always wanted to
I'm-
cosplay as like what is his name? Is it Chris Redfield from Resident Evil and Leon from Resident Evil
Nice.
and Lupin the Third or Lupin from Lupin the Third and a handful of others too. But
I don't know what that last one is.
Lupin is from an old anime called Lupin the Third. He's like a detective or some shit like that.
I
can't remember.
actually know that anime. It's kind of obscure, but
It's really good.
Yeah.
Most of the animes that I like are actually older
that's fair.
animes.
Fair
Yeah.
and valid.
Yeah.
Like Outlaw Star and like Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop's classic. You can't go wrong.
It's my number one. Fist of the North Star, all that good stuff. But
There's a good one I've been dropping to everyone that I talk to recently because it's fairly new, but it's called Megalobox, and it's about like a mechanized boxing, like underground world in the future.
okay.
But big old school anime vibes, and so I'm recommending that to everyone, even if you don't watch anime, just because it's really cool.
Definitely have to check it out.
Good things.
I couldn't tell you the last anime I actually watched.
Vampire Hunter D.
That's my
Nice.
that's my game.
Yes.
That's
Good one.
my stuff right there.
That's a
See, I feel like since he likes Vampire Hunter D, he would love Hellsing.
Yes, correct.
I love Helsing's cool.
I love the original Vampire Hunter D, and I'm gonna show my age again. When the second one came out, which I can't remember what the name of it is right now. Anybody? Vampire Hunter D.
Blood something.
I was just called it the second one.
Yeah.
The second one. It's got a name.
Yeah.
But we went to Blockbuster.
Oh, I
and-
remember going to
and-
Blockbuster.
and rented it and got Papa John's pizza.
Yes.
And we watched the shit out of that movie. And then I probably read like, I don't know, 10 to 12 of the novels.
Nice.
I was a big into Vampire Hunter D. I still have a fairly large action figure of him where he's got the hand open
Nice.
with the face.
That's quality.
And I always kind of liked that dudes and ladies dug that guy like equally.
Sometimes
That's
people
just an
just be
anime.
like that.
That's an anime thing
Yeah,
to
but
this
he's
day.
like
Isn't that a
devilishly-
vampire thing?
He's
That's
like
also a
yeah, it
vampire
is.
thing.
I mean, I guess it goes back further than that, but he's like devilishly handsome. What? He had like the long flowing hair, like the delicate
The
features.
look.
Fuck you.
I feel like that's how Alucard is from Hellsing. He's so badass, but he's so just like devious and terrifying.
Yeah.
If there's anything we've learned with recent animes and old animes, anybody named Alucard is probably attractive to all genders everywhere.
That's valid.
If you've seen Castlevania, you know what's happening.
Incredibly valid.
All good things.
I wouldn't know.
That leads me to something that I want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Have you two seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I've heard of
sounds
it.
familiar.
I haven't seen
Fuck.
it.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh. You're going to get homework.
You have
Okay.
school. You're gonna get homework.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna make you come back and review this movie.
All right.
Okay.
What We Do in the Shadows is a movie from Taika Waititi, who did Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
He's did several other movies, and it's about a group of vampires who are flatmates in New Zealand.
That sounds
And it is-
wonderful.
It's got Taika Waititi in it. It's got
Jermaine.
Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords,
Nice.
and it's got a handful of other people, and it's got Rhys Darby in it, who's was also in Flight of the Conchords. Have you watched Flight of the Conchords?
I think it's on my movie list.
It's
a
a show.
Oh. I don't know. Mom has a
It's
list of
business time.
things. Mom has a list of things that I need to watch.
Has Lacey watched it?
I don't know.
I don't
Text
know.
her.
Okay.
She's up.
There's
She-
so
wait, what
many
time is
things
it?
I
She has
have
work
not
tomorrow.
seen that I'm
There's
just
so
like,
much content that it's hard to.
It's
there's
really
just a
difficult.
lot.
Yeah.
But so, have you seen the trailer for the What We Do in the Shadows show?
I didn't watch it because I was scared that it was going to be like a remake and not as good. But
Real
now that you
fear.
say that, I'll have to watch it.
It is not a remake, and it's going to be on FX. And I legitimately laughed while watching it, and I'm pretty excited about it. But it is an excellent movie. You need to watch it and come back because it is.
They have a friend. One of their best friends is a human, and his name is Stu. And there's a part where they take him to a party, and it's a party of like all vampires, and like
Nice.
you see him like dancing, and then they like pan over to like a mirror, and like he's just dancing by himself.
That's beautiful.
And it's fun when they realize that he's a human and he's amongst all these demons.
It is
I love
such a.
it.
It is an excellent movie. It was pretty much collectively our movie of like 2016. It's not that old. I mean, it came out a couple years
Lacey
ago.
hasn't watched it yet.
See, Flight of the oh god, I didn't watch Flight of the Conchords either, and Katrina watched it without me. And I'm like, I watched a couple. I'm like, what the fuck is this garbage? And then I watched
He
it, and
did.
I'm like, oh my god, this show is so good. Like I would go. I'm retired from concerts, but
Me too.
I would go see them if they toured again.
I retired at 25.
No, we went to a show after that.
That's just sad.
The last
Yeah.
show we went to was Coed
Coed
and
and
Cambria,
Cambria.
and I was pregnant with Parker.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Yep. I
You
was
can be
25.
retired from shows and still go to a show and just be like mentally like I am.
And then there's Mom, who's like, the show.
The old lady in the back.
My dad.
Old
watched
lady in
it.
the front.
Yeah.
No.
Old lady in the front.
No, that's what happens because You don't think that because it's your mom, but everybody else is there is like, who's this old person that's...
I mean,
at this show?
okay, let's rewind. To be fair, let's think of the concerts I go to. Misfits.
Your mom, to her credit, is a younger person, and you, to your credit, are an older person.
Musically wise.
Musically wise.
Yeah. So you
it's
kind of meet
a
in
lot
the middle.
of punk concerts, so
It's
it kind
like
of
when
like evens out.
I dragged Robert to a Police concert in Vegas,
And we were the youngest people
and
there.
we were the youngest people there. But it was so much fun.
But there's not a lot of people I would like. I would take Parker to see the Aquabats. That would be cool.
I'd take Parker to see Acrobats.
Yeah, but I can't think of another group besides maybe Flight of the Conchords or... Oh, dude, I got to show you a video, Anthony. You listen to Pierce the Veil, right?
Oh,
I used to listen to Pierce the Veil. Yeah,
That was
I
a-
actually met the bass player. Came into my work a while ago.
oh, nice.
Yeah. I
Wasn't
forget
Ethan
his
into
name.
them?
We
were all
Ethan's
into
emo
it.
phase came from me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have seen that video.
Oh,
it's horrible.
God.
Don't play it.
It's so good. It's these two kids, and they're just...
It's these two young kids that are singing "King for a Day."
Oh,
and
I've
it's just
seen that video.
Oh, it's so cringy.
Yeah.
No, I love those
that
guys
song.
though. They're all super nice guys. Yeah.
Can we... Anthony.
Bring it down just a
Anthony,
minute.
let's just bring it down for a second. Let's bring it down for a second. Corey doesn't listen to this.
Nope.
Okay.
Corey doesn't listen. BB doesn't listen to this.
Oh God.
In a corner.
Oh,
Can we talk about Maroon 5, or do we skip over that?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. If we're gonna talk about Maroon 5, they've probably heard some wild songs playing themselves. So but that's.
What?
What? I'm lost.
This is weird for me because I have
Weird for you.
known you since you were very young, but I mean,
Tiny.
I've known you for a while. Is it weird for us?
no, it's fine
Okay.
for us. But I mean, some people have sex to music.
They're weirdos. Little Dicky even says so.
Does
I
it?
love Little Dicky.
Little Dicky's
great.
I will
Yeah,
never
it's
fuck a
great.
chick to music again. Loved it.
We'll just let it go, Anthony.
Sorry.
We'll just.
Go for it. You're already.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
we've
we
already.
we don't know
what's going on.
Yeah, you need to continue.
So we've made fun of Corey on here before about having very, very vanilla sex. Like I imagine it's. There's this scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall where after Jason Segel and Kristen Bell break up, he's having sex with this girl, and she's just like, ooh,
I came.
and not that I imagine Corey having sex, but I imagine that it's very, very boring and vanilla.
It's like a soundbox auto recording.
It's tragic.
It's like 3 buttons.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's probably
maybe.
pushing
Ooh.
it.
So Anthony is roommates with Corey. And I'm like, have you ever heard them having sex? And he goes, no. And I mean, walls are thin. I mean, when you're roommates with somebody
In an apartment.
technically,
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard Eric having sex, and when I first move out, and it's something you kind of are stuck with.
Yeah. When you live with people, that
And,
happens.
What song was it, Anthony?
Oh, God.
I don't know what it's called, but it's the one that's like, I don't mind spending every day. That one from Maroon 5.
She will be loved.
Yes, that one.
Many concerns. Emma's face right now is
No, but
speaks more than words can.
the worst
convey.
part is hearing him sing that song though. That's even worse is hearing Corey sing it.
You know what the best part is? His
things I
fucking
hate.
brother listens to this podcast.
His family listens to this podcast.
Oh yeah,
welcome.
Oh yeah, his family. They started listening during Christmas time, and the downloads went up significant. So I mean, there's a big chunk of his family that's going to listen to this.
So the title of this episode will be
She Will Be Loved.
Yes.
Oh God.
You heard it
Thank
first.
you, Anthony. You don't care, right?
I don't care. I'm
In the
sure
description,
they've
just have like
probably
a
heard worse. So it's
PSA. If you don't want your whole image ruined, you should definitely download this episode.
I think Anthony and I had the same gene where we luckily got this from wherever that we just don't fucking care. Do you care like ever?
The only time I cared was when I seen you in Target the other day.
Oh God,
That was a great story.
Did we not tell this story yet? Oh, we didn't tell it on here
I got
yet.
a text.
I was so happy. I texted James, our other brother. I texted Katrina. It was so good. So I'm in Target and I have to get
Oliver's Medicine.
Oliver's Medicine, and I'm walking, and I see Anthony, who's very tall, beelining it from like medical to the cash registers, and he doesn't see me. And I'm like, what's up, dude? You're just going to walk by? And I see Anthony, like, the split decision. This is how I saw it from the outside. The split decision. Do I stand here and talk to him while I'm holding a box of condoms? Or do I keep going to the register? Hey! That was great.
So going into that, I was like, man, I don't give a fuck who sees me. Like, I'm a grown man. I'll be fine. Nothing will mess me up. And I'm walking and I see him and I just like my stomach like hit the floor. I like shit myself for a second. I was like, oh my God, one of the only people that I'd never expected to see. Like if it was one of my friends, I'd be like, oh, what up, dude? I'm just, here doing my thing. But it's my brother.
Take it all back.
Yeah.
Well, no fear. One fear.
Yeah, it was
Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's like you are a grown-ass man. And most people like to have sex. So, I mean...
I can beat that because, imagine being a 12-year-old girl having to stand in that aisle to buy stuff while everybody is just kind of looking down that aisle as they pass by. No? Don't get it?
Wait, what? Why were you a 12-year-old?
Because that's where all the feminine hygiene products are.
It's all the
okay.
same aisle.
It's all the same aisle.
I've never bought a feminine hygiene.
Feminine.
That's not to the point where I'm not one of those dudes that wouldn't. If you needed me to go in there, I would. But I wouldn't know what to... I mean, I don't know what to get.
I like the PSA of, like, just in case you weren't sure. Like, I would, but, like, nah.
I wouldn't know what to get.
I have no shame.
That's fair.
At all.
I like the warning sign, though. It's a...
That reminds me... Go ahead.
I went to self-checkout just because I was already so embarrassed and my face was probably so red.
I'm surprised you can get that at self-checkout. They won't let you buy alcohol there.
That's not alcohol.
No, I know.
That's the stigma you need to get on it. There's no shame in buying condoms. You don't want a fucking baby.
Oh, no.
You don't want a baby
Yeah.
right
No.
now. Fuck
My
that.
birth control went with me everywhere.
I can't have babies anymore, so I mean, there's that. I've been cut.
Plus sides. Thank you.
the PSA warning.
We
Keep
are
going.
open and honest, and I like I said, I have no shame. We talk about everything.
I don't care.
Sorry.
I don't
Oh,
care.
you're good. We don't.
Have you heard how me and Mom talk?
The bird is the word.
Yes, I know how your mother talks.
Yeah, it's like that all the time. So I don't care.
What?
Nothing.
What did I do now?
Nothing.
Okay.
What time are we at?
You're at 57.
Wow. Wow. What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what's happening.
That's Owen Wilson. You got anything else, Katrina? You always have a news story up your sleeve. You got the young perspective here.
The young perspective.
I have something that I want to ask
Okay.
people. Have you guys played Kingdom Hearts 3?
No,
I don't own a PS4.
poor.
Oh.
I'm also poor. However, person I'm talking to right now has played the whole thing, and they cried for 3 hours straight after finishing it.
Nobody
Yeah.
say anything. I've actively avoided everything because if anyone...
So is it like really over?
No, it's really good. I haven't beaten it yet, but like it's really good. I wanted to talk about it, but
if
So is
anyone
it- we
ruins
can't.
anything for me, I
It's
will
still
go
too early
ham.
on that spoiler train.
If you want to do a little bit of the spoiler-free talk, you're more than welcome.
okay, I have a spoiler-free talk that doesn't kill anything about
Proceed.
story or
Proceed with caution.
So is this like
or
the last-
Aqua or Terra or anybody. I won't say anything about that, but I will tell you that when you do play it, you're going to be stoked because there's cool things like you can actually level up Keyblades now. So if you like a certain one, you can stack into it, which is really fucking cool.
The only thing I know is that Halloween Town is not a level, which I'm really sad about because that's my
Yeah.
favorite levels. Like I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, they pretty much covered everything with it in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but like that level and like how Sora looks in that and like that Keyblade, like the Pumpkin King Keyblade and everything, like since like my childhood, and it's probably because my favorite movie's Nightmare Before Christmas, but like has been my favorite. And like when I cosplay Sora eventually, because I want to do his Halloween Town because I absolutely love that, and I own that Keyblade.
That's cool. No, I was bummed out that they told you what all the levels were before the game came out.
Yeah,
I was
don't.
expecting there to be some sort of surprise.
Yeah.
That was one of my very few disappointments with the game because Kingdom Hearts is my favorite series. As you can see, I got Sora on the keychain right there.
My other arm's gonna be my Nightmare Before Christmas and Kingdom Hearts tattoo.
That's cool.
My other arm.
My other arm. This one's taken.
Who directed Nightmare Before Christmas?
Henry Selick, I think.
Good job.
Aw, Robert's so proud.
One of the other cool things you'll have to look forward to is that instead of like, you know how when you go to a world and you want to play with another character, you have to swap out like Donald or Goofy.
Yeah.
Now they fight with you, which is pretty cool.
Does Donald heal you
No,
now?
probably
Because thank God.
So because you can customize, you can
Questionable at best from everything I've heard.
you can customize their like their moves or their abilities or how often
nice.
they do stuff. And there's one for Donald that's just like heal like crazy or something like that. And I have it set on that because
Donald doesn't heal in the other games.
no,
Ever?
no, that's a good
He
meme.
only heals after I use it. But I was playing Kingdom Hearts 2 the other day, and I used a potion, and then he was like, Sora, and I was like,
Thanks a lot, Donald.
thank you.
No, there's a lot of really cool little things in the game that are like that I was really, really happy about.
I'm excited for
So
it.
is the story ending? Is that what the big deal is? Or
I don't know. I hope not. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. There's a lot of
That timeline's so complex.
yeah. So they're mixing like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, which I would say are like not the regular games, but the one that everybody knows. And then there's Extended Universe Kingdom Hearts, which is like Birth by Sleep and 325 over 2 days or whatever the hell it's called.
Recoded.
Recoded, all those other ones.
Dream Drop Distance.
They're mixing the Extended Universe, which that's just what I'm going to call it, with the first two games. And so I was a little confused because I didn't play Dream Drop Distance or Birth by Sleep. I tried playing Birth by Sleep, that's the one that's mainly Terra Aqua and Ventus's story. But I never finished it because I think the game I was waiting for came out and I started playing that. But so there's a lot of stuff that's going on that I'm kind of like, I don't remember this. Like,
There's a lot of little things, like if you haven't played all of the games, it's all
Or if you haven't
from
like at
everything I've
least
seen.
like looked up stuff about all the games, because like the timeline of it is like not in the order they released it.
right.
it's not linear?
No, it's not. I mean, you can make it linear. It's just not linear in the order that they released it. Like Birth by Sleep
Oh, circular. Sorry.
Birth by Sleep is like the first game. Like if you want to do it like linear.
Ron.
Ron.
We're having separate conversations here.
Yeah. Just gonna say I'm out here for my boy Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's all I'm here for. Just kidding. But also,
Axel.
the overarching thing that I've heard about Kingdom Hearts 3 is just whatever you think is gonna happen, it's still Square Enix,
That's true.
and that's all you need to know.
And
Who
you're
knows
still
what-
gonna end up crying at some
Oh,
point in the game.
I'm the minute the title screen music,
So
I
like,
already know I'm gonna start
First
crying.
note.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, like every time I replay through Kingdom Hearts 1, I get sappy. I get sappy
Oh,
as
so
fuck.
sappy.
And
That's how I feel with Kingdom Hearts 2.
when they play it, when the video, the title screen or whatever came on for Kingdom Hearts 3, I was like, it's so beautiful.
It's just like it's one of those games with like, at least I know like me and my best friend Jacqueline, like we grew up playing those, and like
yeah.
we used to sit in my living room with my PlayStation 2 with Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, and we used to just sit there and play all the time. And it's that like, even because I have the like remastered version of Kingdom Hearts 1 on my PlayStation 3, and like she'll come over when she's home from college and we'll play it, and it's just like that feeling of like nostalgia and like hearing like the music like start up and like seeing him standing there with like the popsicle and everything, and then
Yeah.
playing Kingdom Hearts 2 and like goofing off as Roxas at the beginning. It's just like, it's a lot of nostalgia for me because
There's-
it's like the Disney, and then like
Yeah. There's not a lot of people that understand that like flood of emotion that pops up when you play one of those games.
Yeah.
that
Everyone who
nostalgia.
plays Kingdom Hearts has that nostalgia. Everyone who
in
played
some
like the
form or
first
I
few.
didn't.
Uh-oh.
Have you played?
I played through the
All of
whole
them?
first one.
Exile.
And
You
halfway
haven't played
through
the rest
second
of
one.
them though. And that's the thing.
Second
so like,
one's
I've never,
so good.
I've never played a video game where I had an emotional experience.
Okay,
That's just
let's be
you.
fair. I'm a very emotional
No, I'm not saying that
person.
it doesn't. So am I. I cried everything. I cried the first 15 times I watched Coco. And I've watched it that
is
many
true.
times.
you have a skewed emotional radar, is what I'm hearing.
I
mean,
Which is totally fair and valid.
I'm
Me
trying
too,
to think
but
if there's any video game I've ever had an emotional experience with. I was really invested in the characters in Detroit Become Human, but it's because it's so involved.
I want to cosplay Connor so bad.
He's great.
I
it's fantastic.
He's great.
emotionally relate to
And
Connor.
just like as a father, like I like playing, replaying through The Last of Us.
oh,
That's
When his
a good
fucking
one.
daughter gets shot, it's just
Oh.
like,
Yeah,
Gotta go.
That makes me cry.
fuck
every
this.
time.
But I've never, I don't think, have you?
Well, it was funny watching your reaction when I killed that character in Detroit.
Fuck, I didn't
and
know.
he like
even
freaked
better.
out, and he was like, "Oh my, what do you mean she's
What
dead?
happens to the story? Have you played
She's
it?
just gone."
I haven't played it, but I know everything. I've watched through it because
Well, you
I'm
can't
bored.
know everything. There's like
There's so many
400,000
trees.
different
You
ways.
doubt
to-
how much free time I have in the middle of the night when I'm just reading Wikipedia articles.
It's kind of impressive.
I have two video games that I have an extreme emotional attachment to. It's
What,
the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise and the entire BioShock franchise.
Yeah, I didn't get into BioShock.
I've never had like an emotional where like I cry over a video game. I also just don't cry in general.
I don't
But
think
like
I've ever seen
emotional
you cry.
connections, like
You don't have tear ducts?
No.
Or
pretty
eyebrows?
much, yeah. I'm Asian. We don't get those. Get those beaten out of us real young. Just kidding. But emotional connections,
Emotional
like
abuse is real, man.
Legend of Zelda, like Majora's Mask is like my childhood like grow up game, which is a game that not many people get emotional over. But whenever I see like the title screen or even that weird like the freaky moon, I'm like, childhood.
There's also certain games you just find comfort in.
Yeah.
Like Super Mario RPG is one of my all-time favorite games. And maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I bought it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And I just started playing through it again, and I was just it brings so much just comfort that it's one of those games that we had the head of, what is that game company that we donated that money to?
Gonna have to cut that part out.
Yeah, I will. Anyways, they have games that help with anxiety. They have a list of games that'll help with all kinds of different things. Mm-hmm. But whenever I turn on Super Mario RPG, I'm just like, it's just a level of comfort. I get that way with Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy X.
Yes.
10 does that for me too.
10 is, as much as some people kind of shit on it, I've only liked a handful of Final Fantasies.
Child's Play.
Child's Play, thank you. They're a really good organization. But those games really kind of bring me a lot of comfort.
See, I didn't have a console as a kid. I had a handheld, and it only took me so far with my 2 games, and then I broke it over my knee because I got frustrated.
That seems like you.
Yes.
It's also fair.
So I was never allowed to have a Nintendo. Like, my sad story is my godmother got me Who Framed Roger Rabbit for what? Are you playing with the shark?
I have a shark on my hand, and I said, "Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, 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 howdy."
Nice. No, so I got a Nintendo NES game for Christmas from my godmother, but I never got an NES system. And you
Need
wonder
a
why I don't
camera
talk on
setup.
these things. Yeah.
And to end that story, I ended up buying you that game.
You did.
When we had a Nintendo, so you could actually play it as an adult.
Yes.
As an adult, I mean, like,
But see, like, I never got to grow that connection as a child with a console system and playing games. And
it's a big deal. I mean, I didn't have anybody. I've tried to think of this. I never had anybody that got me into Star Wars. I got into Star Wars on my own.
Me too.
But I visited my dad in Texas one time, and he had an original Nintendo, and I had a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo, and I asked for a PlayStation. PlayStations were $199.99 at the time, and he sent me exactly $200, and I didn't have enough money to buy it because there's tax. And
Yeah.
stuff. So my grandpa took me to Sears that had a video game department at the time. He said, "I'll pay for the tax. You go ahead and pick out a game." So I picked out Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, and that was my first game. And then my uncle got a PlayStation, and he didn't like it, so he gave me Doom 2 and Ultimate Doom.
Nice.
And then that kind of set into motion. I mean, I played Super Nintendo a lot and stuff like Shadowrun and Link to the Past and quite a few other games. But
Yeah, so my console was a VHS. You know, I was stuck at home by myself, and I watched movies all day. Like, that's just all I did. And that's where my kind of connection is in film. It's not video games.
Yeah.
I have you to thank, Robert, for my love of Kingdom Hearts, because I would have never played it if you would never brought it over to our house on Magnolia that one time, and you were on like, you brought it over, and I remember the first level I ever played, you were on the Wonderland level.
It's a good level.
Yeah,
That was
and it was at the part where you have to find all the little pieces, or all the heartless pieces or whatever to show the queen. And I found
The
them.
evidence.
Yeah, the evidence. Yeah, and I found some of them, and I picked the wrong one, and it took Donald and Goofy. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, that was the one. I would always like sit there and I'd be like, my anxiety.
Suddenly Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
the evidence you have is wrong.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever played that game, and that's my favorite game series. So thank you.
Huh.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna get emotional.
there you go.
No, but we're well over an hour, aren't we?
Yes.
So we got to stop. How'd you like your first podcast?
It's a good
It's fun.
time. Thank you
Yeah.
for having us.
Of course.
We'll be back after homework.
Yes.
Yes.
Go watch What We Do in the Shadows, and we'll have you back. And we'll have our.
It's a
I'm-
short watch. It's not too
I'm
long.
putting quotation marks in the air. We'll have our co-host come on.
Replaced.
That's now.
But I did
Hired.
want to touch base on real quick. This doesn't have to do with y'all.
Yeah.
But we on March 2nd we are starting, and I'll invite you, all three of you, to this in the future. The first episode is booked, but we are going to start a graphic novel book club where once a month or once every other month we are going to be choosing, probably once every other month.
Yeah, scheduling sucks.
We're going to be having 2 graphic novels where we will be reading them and we will be discussing them on the podcast. We will have food from local food places. We will have beer from local beer places. You guys aren't 21.
No.
We will have juice boxes.
We will have
Juice
juice
boxes,
boxes
yeah.
from the local Costco.
Yeah. And we will be eating local food, drinking local beer, and discussing graphic novels. And we already have the first month booked. And
Do we know what we're reading?
we are reading Oblivion Song.
Nice.
We are the first trade. We are reading Dead Body Road. And we are going to read a single issue of Assassination.
Nice.
All Skybound books. Those are our boys.
Yep.
They take care of us, and we wanted to kick off the whole thing with them. The first brewery is going to be Society, which is a local San Diego brewery, and the first food place is going to be Lucha Libres,
Wow.
which is pretty cool. Those are all kind of big deals. So there'll be 8 of us on that one. It's going to be 2
it's gonna
people
be
per
tight
mic, so it's going
quarters.
to be interesting.
Mess.
But and we're gonna have a rotating cast of people. The regulars are gonna be Katrina, myself, and Alan. And after that, we'll have rotating people. So you're all welcome to come on a future episode as long as you don't have a hard time doing homework.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be our future episodes. We're really looking forward to it. We have
Under the 9 to 5 umbrella.
Yeah, it will be. It's gonna be called Brews and Books,
Nice.
Yeah,
a
good
9
one.
to 5
Good name.
nerds
You're
production. Yes, Katrina came up with it. So that's coming up soon. We're really excited about it. This is the first time we're talking about it. But yeah, we'll be recording in a couple weeks. I'm really excited. And what's cool is we're having a varying degrees amount of people that have read comics. Like Alan's read way more than me.
He's read from way more than anybody in the world.
That's not true because Matt Dunford, who is
That is true.
the chairman of San Diego Comic Fest, which you need to exhibit at next year. Because their artist alley tables are incredibly cheap because they're
Yes.
there to promote the artist, not to make money.
Hey,
By
put
that
us in.
time, I'll have at least 3 more drawings than I have
I
now.
Tap me in,
I
coach. I'll help
think
you.
I think their artist alley booths are $25,
I'm ready.
Split
and
it with me.
it's a 3-day
Give me a date.
weekend, and like they're booked up this year.
Dang it.
Or you can put yourself on the wait list right now.
Hey.
But it's a super cool organization. Matt
Yeah.
Dunford is a comic historian.
Oh, wow.
If you want to listen to an episode where somebody can fucking, I don't think you listen to this episode either.
Spout
He
off anything about
is
anything.
Unbelievable. He can pull off a single issue of comic from anywhere, anytime, anything, and he'll tell you what happened in that story. It's nuts.
It is
incredible.
crazy.
And he's going to be in the book club, and then we're going to have 4 people. Our friend Sam Voltmer, who did the artwork for our, everybody likes Sam.
Yay, Sam.
He's going to be on it, and he's never read comics. So we're having a varying degree of interest in comics. So it's going to be really cool to see kind of what people think about these books. I have read Oblivion Song. I haven't read Dead Body Road. So
I'm not current on Oblivion Song.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick one new book and one older book. Dead Body Road's only 2014, so it's not older, but we could do Watchmen if we wanted, but I've read Watchmen. We're going to do a lot more stuff that we haven't read.
Right.
So
Broaden the horizon.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. It's about eating good food, drinking some good beer, and talking about good books. Well, hopefully good books. You never know.
I want to read Murder Falcon.
You should. I need to start that one too.
It looks really interesting.
Did you finish Extremity?
I never read Extremity.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
So Daniel Warren Johnson, there's this book called Extremity, which was excellent, and he has this book right now called Murder Falcon, and it's about a guy who plays metal that summons a guy that helps him fight demons and shit.
Nice.
That's
And
quality.
I don't know if you know this, but each issue of the book, Daniel Warren Johnson is putting out a guitar track that he does himself that you can listen to while you read the book.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's
He's a
wonderful.
very special person.
and we met him, and he is one of the most
Nicest
genuinely nice
people.
people you will ever meet. He is a really cool dude. So go out and read Murder Falcon as well. That's a Skybound book, and like I said, those are our guys.
Yeah, I finally finished the First Law, all the First Law books, so I need something to read until
The next one comes out.
Well, yeah, because he's writing the last 3 books and he finished them.
See, writers say they're going to finish a story arc, and then they just leave it for a little bit, and then they come back.
I hope they don't finish it. That's the greatest series ever.
Oh, no.
I
Like
love
that.
it so much. I like it more than Game of Thrones.
I got so
Don't you
mad.
call me out like that.
Different
Uh-oh.
podcast, different time.
What?
Creative process.
Creative processes.
We both
starting a
work on
comic.
comics and
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You both work on comics?
We're
like
starting-
web comics. Both
yeah.
starting different comics
Yeah.
now, but
Slash a conjoined one
slash conjoined one. Yeah.
that we have the plot for.
we have the
just
plot.
gotta
We've had the
start.
plot like for
I've had it since
2
11th grade.
years. Yeah, but we had it like
But
flattened out.
figured-
You're,
out,
you're
yeah.
talking to, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
New game, yeah. I read.
did you
the
read
one
it?
Yeah, it was good.
You like it?
Yeah,
Cool.
I like the art.
I have not read it.
Yeah,
I'd
it
like
was
to.
$5,000 to get that book done.
Fantastic.
So that's why there's no issue 2 right now.
Got it.
I'm going
Yes.
to
That makes
screen
sense.
print mine out of my garage.
On T-shirts and make you
it's-
stand next to each
It's
other.
not
Yes.
the printing process. It's if you pay for a legitimate artist, because I can't draw. And Michael
see,
Yakutis, the
we're-
guy that does the artwork, is like a legitimate comic artist.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
Costs money.
We like
Yeah.
to suffer, so we'll draw it
yeah.
ourselves.
We're gonna
I would draw it
ourselves.
myself if I could.
Yeah,
It's also fair.
our combined art forces have to produce something, right?
Dude, you
Something.
gotta add since you added Jake and Trevor in there, dude. You gotta put an Anthony in there somewhere. He can get killed right away. It's all
He can
good.
get killed right away.
I have
Oh,
so
that bastard
much
Anthony just died.
written down and so much in my head that I want to do, but I just can't afford it.
When you have like 40 characters and then your friend's like, "Hey,
Okay,
but can I be there for like one episode?"
Can you just put me in one window?
Just once.
I mean, the main characters for the one we're starting. There's 16 main characters.
Oh, Jesus.
That sounds like a novel, not a comic.
Are there like point of view characters or?
it's a different podcast, different time. It's a long.
It's a
That's
long
interesting.
explanation.
I feel like this should have been covered in the beginning.
I mean,
You also can't give away that now.
Yeah.
We
You
can
need-
we
we need
can
to
hold
hold
on to the
general
background.
plot,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's 2 comics, but they'll
they
merge.
combine. Yeah, they combine into one.
That's cool.
Joining forces.
Yeah, because there's 2 sides. There's like there's 8 characters, and then the other 8 characters, and then they merge.
To put it eloquently, it's a clusterfuck.
It is, yes, but it's a
In the
planned
best way.
clusterfuck.
Do it before you have too much responsibility.
We're trying.
Radical.
I promise I will start storyboarding this one.
We'll see that if that happens next podcast.
I laid out all the windows, all the dialogue, and everything for this dude, and he fucking knocked it out of the park. Like the artwork is
Oh, yeah.
really good, but I can't afford an issue 2. What I need to do is sit down and write an actual pitch to send out to publishers.
Yeah,
Because the book looks good.
it does.
I have really good ideas. If you sat me in a pitch meeting, I could fucking.
That's how I am. I have everything in noodle.
Not to mention, I'm a really, really, really good talker once I get going.
Yeah.
And incredibly humble
And
for both of
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Well,
I'm kidding. If you run a podcast, I assume you're pretty
Yeah.
charismatic in a board meeting, probably.
I interviewed for Office of Field Operations for Homeland Security, and once you've interviewed with like 6 people that are like federal agents,
And they have you strapped up to a chair.
yeah,
That's gonna be
you,
me.
You don't care anymore.
You just don't waver anymore.
Yeah,
It's
you don't.
fine.
So I can sit in any room and talk to anybody about that kind of stuff. Plus, I'm really passionate about it. But we've got to end this episode. It was nice having you on.
Thank you for having us.
You're both welcome back anytime. Thank you, Anthony. I know you didn't talk a whole lot, but I always appreciate when you're here.
It's all good. It's a little difficult sharing a mic sometimes.
Yeah, it is. We're getting there. I can loosen this up
Let it swing.
next time,
Ew, ew.
so we can just let it swing.
Oh yeah.
That's better, isn't it?
That would have been way better.
We'll do that next time because we'll have you on the book club. But that'll be it for this week. We're out.